Hey guys, Demetrius here. Welcome back to my channel where I show how to build digital solutions and automate your workflows. Now, this is going to be the first video of a series that I'm planning to create where I'm going to be showing you how to build a simple restaurant app from scratch without writing any code. We're going to be going through the whole process step by step, right? And by the end of this series, you should have your own app created, right? So this is going to be great, especially if you're a restaurant owner, obviously. And also, if you have like a web development agency, a marketing agency, and you want to offer your clients a special service that I'm sure many of their competitors are not going to have. Also, guys, if you're serious about building awesome apps with no code and you want to network with myself, as well as like-minded people who are working on awesome projects like this one, I'm going to put a link below this video to my community, which you can join today for absolutely free. So make sure to check that out. So with that being said, let's get started. Now, the platform that I'm going to be using in order to create this is going to be glideapps.com, right? And if you guys never heard of Glide Apps, it's an amazing tool, as you can see right here, that lets you visually design your applications. And it has some really cool features. So it's totally free to get started. So make sure to create your account. All you need is a Google account to sign up with Glide. And once you sign up, you should be on a page that looks like this. This is going to be the layout page where we're going to be adding all the components to the app and designing how the app is going to look like. And we also need to integrate our Glide app with a Google spreadsheet, right? So that's the next thing you need to do. Before you create your app, you're going to be asked to create a Google spreadsheet, right? So create one, add some random data in the spreadsheet, because without adding any data, it's not going to let you create an app. So just go ahead, add some random data in the spreadsheet, and then you should be able to create your app. Once you do that, you're going to be in a page that looks like this, and we're now ready to get started. Now, the idea I had for this app, I want it to be like a simple informational app for a restaurant, and one really cool use case that I can think of is replacing a physical menu, right? So I see a lot of restaurants these days, instead of physical menus, they actually give you iPads, so you can look at the menu in a digital format, and that, I believe, makes it super easy for them to update the menu whenever they need to, instead of updating a physical menu every time. So if you have like a restaurant client, you can easily charge them like a monthly fee in order to build like a simple Glide app here for them to display the menu and also easily update it through a Google Sheet, as you're gonna see in a second, right? So that could be the first use case. And then the second use case I can think of is having a like a reservation form, where the customer can reserve their table, and they can enter their time, when they want to visit the restaurant, and so on. And then we can also have another tab for like an About Us page, stuff like that. But let's get started here, and we're gonna figure it out along the way. Now, the first thing I need to do, guys, is set up my tabs. So tabs in Glide are basically like the app pages, right? So the first tab I'm gonna call it menu, right? So as you can see, the title changed here. This is the tab I have, and the source is where this tab is going to get data from, right? So in Glide, you select the source, you select the sheet on your Google spreadsheet that you're going to get data from. And in this case, I already created 3 sheets. I actually create 2 sheets down here, and you create new sheets by just clicking on this button right here. As you can see, there we go. Let me delete these. So I'm going to delete this one as well. So as you can see, I already created 2 sheets. One is, it's a menu. So this one has all the different menu items. And then here I have a categories list, right? So this is a bunch of different menu categories, right? And I already went ahead and added some data here. As you can see, I have some categories and then some images for these categories. And then for the menu, I have the name of the item, a description, a price, a category, and then the image of that dish, right? So this is just some sample data, so we don't waste time, trying to find sample data. So the idea here is I'm gonna go ahead on the source and I'm gonna select menu, right? And let me reload this sheet because I deleted the 2 sheets that I had before. So now, as you can see, those are no longer here after I refreshed it. Oh, by the way, guys, I'm gonna be going a little bit fast because I already did an introduction series for Glide apps. You know, if you're not familiar with Glide apps and you wanna catch up, you know, I'm gonna put a link in the description to a series, like a small course that I made on Glide apps, which takes you step by step. You know, it's like a beginner guide basically. So if I'm going too fast, you know, check that out first. You know, it's going to give you a good introduction, and then you can come back and everything's going to make a little bit more sense. But the idea here is I selected the source, which is menu, and as you can see, all the menu items from the spreadsheet are now populated on this page. Now the next thing I want to do is customize the way that these items appear on the page, right? So I'm going to go on layout, and this is where we customize everything. And for the style, right, so the style is basically the way that the data gets presented, right? For the style, I'm actually going to select list. Now, the first thing that we need to configure is the categories, you know, because a menu, right now we're displaying every single item in the menu, right? But it's better to have like a category page first where the customer is going to select the category, and then based on the category, we're going to display different menu items. So actually the first page I should have created is the categories page. So I'm going to go back to my tabs. I'm going to create a new tab, and I'm going to name this one categories. And now the source, right? So the source is going to be the category sheet, right? This is where I have all my categories. So I'm going to select categories. And as you can see, it already updated here. Okay, let me also change these icons because I don't like this. Let's see what we have here. So if I search for menu, okay, category, no. List, what about list? Actually, no, let me go with menu. Let's select, let's go with this one. Yeah, that's fine. And then I'm gonna bring this, I want this to be like the home page, you know, so categories, right? This is gonna be the first page on the app. And I'm actually not gonna have a menu tab because the way I want it to work is I want the categories page to have different buttons that will lead to sub pages with all the different menu items. And I'm gonna show you what I mean by that in a second. So I'm gonna have a categories page right here, and we have selected the source to be categories, so we get all the categories. And now I'm gonna go back to the layout page and I'm gonna select tiles, right? So this is how I want the categories to be displayed, right? I wanna have the category image, you know, stand out, you know, that looks nice. And then on the data section here, this is where we assign different fields from the spreadsheet, right, to the elements of the styling option. So as you can see, tiles has an image, it has a title element, it has a details element, which is this thing right here, right? And as you can see, title is assigned to the food category, is assigned to this. Actually, I'm gonna rename this. I'm gonna rename it to category name, you know, that makes a little bit more sense. Refresh. There we go. So now title is assigned to categories name, right? So this field right here. Details, so this little thing right here is assigned to image right now, but I'm actually gonna make this none. You know, I'm gonna make this empty because I don't want anything after that. I just want the image and the title. And then image is assigned to the image field on the spreadsheet, which is actually a link, right? And by default, Glide Apps is able to take a link and convert it into an actual image, right? And all these images, guys, I got them from different sources online, you know, so you just go to Google Images, and I found some images and then copied the actual, let me show you. So if I go to Google, let's search for breakfast. You know, so you go, you find an image that you want, and then you open the image in a new tab, and then you copy this link, right? It's important that you open it in a new tab so you find the actual source, and then you copy that link and paste it on your spreadsheet, right? Now, the next thing I want to do is I'm going to go down here to design, and I'm actually going to make this a little nicer. So tile shape, I can make this bigger, you know. Yeah, that looks nicer. And then I'm actually going to scroll down, and I'm going to make the text style to be an overlay, right? So this is going to put the text above the image because I don't really like this. I want it to be above the image. And I'm actually also going to make the text bigger like that. And I'm going to make it all caps, just like that. And then let's see if there's an option to also make it bold, because I remember there was an option to make it bold. I can't find it. Text size, that. Okay. Yeah, I don't remember how to do it, but I thought there was an option to make it bold. It's fine. If you guys figure it out, let me know. So now the next thing, now we have the categories page. As you can see, all the different categories of our menu are displayed here. And guys, by the way, this is all dynamic, right? So whenever you add a new category to your spreadsheet, it's automatically gonna appear on your app, right? Within a few minutes after you make the change on the spreadsheet, it's gonna appear on the app. So let me go ahead and actually do this. So we can create a new category and call it desserts, right? And then we're gonna go to Google here. So desserts. Let's find a cool image that it's okay. This one looks, I think that's gonna work. So open a new tab, copy the link, paste it here. And now because I want the change to appear instantly, I'm actually gonna manually refresh it. But when you actually run your app, you know, after a few minutes, it's gonna refresh on its own. As you can see, it automatically added that category for us, right? So the next thing we need to do is add, once the user clicks on this, okay, so I already made this app before, so it automatically worked, but let me just delete everything so I can show you from scratch how to do this. Okay, I think that's it really. Yeah. Okay, so now when the user clicks on the category, what we want to do is display a list, as you've seen a second ago, with all the items that are under that category. As you can see on my menu sheet here, I have all the items, but then I also have a column called category. So I assign each item to a specific category, which is then gonna allow me to add that item in a list under the specific category, right? So what I'm gonna do on this page is I'm able to add new components, right? So I'm gonna click here, and I'm actually gonna select an inline list, right? So this thing right here, this is a component that basically allows you to embed a small list on the page. Not really a small list, like a list, you know, it can be endless items. So we're gonna click on this, and as you can see, it added all the menu items under this page. And the reason it did this is because, as you can see, the source here for this list is the menu items, right? So all these items right here under the menu sheet. Now that's correct because I want to display menu items on this page. However, what I need to do is filter this page so it only displays items under this specific category. And the way I'm going to do that is by going to features, and then let's see, I think it's filter. Yeah, we're going to add a new filter, and we're going to filter based on that item's category, right? So based on the item's category, and the category is okay, let me see how I do this. I forgot. Okay, so category is so now we need to find a way to dynamically add the category name to the filter, right? Okay, let me experiment here. So alright guys, so I had to pause the video for a second in order to figure this out. So actually we're not going to be using a filter, right? We're not going to be using a filter, and the reason for that is because as you can see on the filter here, if we filter by category, we actually need to manually enter a value. So if I search for breakfast, right, it's gonna work. However, we want this to work for every single one of these categories. And as you can see, if I go here, it's gonna give me the breakfast items because that filter is automatically applied to every single category, and we don't want that. We want every category to link to the to the items under that category automatically, right? Because if I go to features now, as you can see, category is breakfast because I entered that manually. No, so the way we're gonna do this, the way we're gonna achieve this is not using the filter. The way we're gonna do this, let's go back to breakfast, okay? The way we're gonna do this is by going to this page right here called data. Now this page is really powerful because what it allows you to do is create relations. Now if you don't know what a relation is, guys, basically what we're gonna do is add a new column, and this column is actually gonna be hidden on our spreadsheet. As you can see, I added a new column to the, what is this? The categories sheet right here, but it's not visible on the actual sheet. This column is only gonna be visible inside Glide, right? And it's a hidden column that's going to allow us to create a relation. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to name this category items, right? And what we're going to do here is select the relation. So the idea with relation, it allows us to basically do a search and find items in the menu sheet that match specific conditions. And as you can see, it says configuration, relate to items where the value in categories name, so the value here matches the value in menu category, right? So again, so you select what you want to relate to. So you relate to items where the value in the categories on this sheet, right? So these categories are the same with the items in the menu sheet that have category set to that. I'm probably saying it in a very weird way, but let me do it again. So category items. So column type relation. Category's name matches value in menu category, and as you can see, it automatically found some of these items in the menu sheet. However, we have more than one items. Let me click done so it doesn't get deleted. Let me go back to menu. As you can see, we have more than one items. For example, on salads and snacks, right? We have 1, 2, 3 items under that category. And here it only found salads and snacks. It only found 1. So what we need to do, let's go back to edit. We actually need to match multiple, right? And as you can see now, it has found all the different items under this category, right? All the different items in the menu under this specific category. I hope this makes sense, guys. This is called a relation. And for desserts, because we don't have any items on the menu under the categories, under the desserts category, it doesn't find anything. But we can test that later. We can add some items under this category. So now what we can do is go back to layout, go to our inline list. And by the way, guys, we are within a category, so you can select any category you want. It doesn't matter, you know. The inline list is part of all the categories. And then here, what we need to do now on the source, we need to select category items. As you can see, it has created a new option for us, a new source, you know, which is what we did on the data page right here, we created a new column called category items, and it automatically detected it under the source here. So when we select this, as you can see, it has automatically filtered out the items under this category, and it basically just pulls the items from this column right here, right? So this is the inline list. And now if we go back to another category, if we go to this one, as you can see, these are the items under the snacks and salads and snacks category. So that's correct. So now let's customize this list a little bit. So let me get rid of this title. I don't like that. Perfect. And then we can also customize the style of this specific list. So I mean the inline list, not the specific one on this page. I mean the inline list under each one of these categories. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select tiles once again, because I think that looks cool. And I'm not going to put an overlay because I want the customer to be able to see the image of the item. And I'm actually going to make the tile shape 3:2 ratio. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I think that looks good. Let me see, what kind of data do we have here? Oh, we also have the price. So what we could do, instead of having this description, so this is basically the description of the item. And I think that most menus, they have the price first, and then you can get more information later on about the item. So what I'm going to do here on the data section, instead of having the description right there, I'm actually going to put the price. I think that's more like common, you know, you get the price first, and then when we click on this item now, as you can see, we can have a new page with more information about that specific item, right? So that's what we're going to do next. So here we're going to display the item's title, right? The item's name, and then the item's price. Let me see if this looks better. No, it's too big. Yeah, I think that's fine. Also, what you can do is experiment with these type of overlays right here. So these are not the same as the text overlay that we've seen earlier. These are more like, let me see. So if we go to tag and select price, as you can see, that's the price right there. So if you like that, you can go with that. Caption, let's see what this is. Oh, right, okay. So we could add title there, maybe. So the name, sorry. Nah, I don't like that. I think that looks best. Anyway, so now when we click on this, we want to display more information about this specific item. So the source column here is going to be, wait, what's a source column? Oh, right, so for the title. Okay, so the title, yeah, so the title is this thing right here, guys. The title of the page is going to be the name of the item. And then we're able to add new components to this page. So I'm going to click here, and I'm going to add this title component right here, which is a really cool component that basically allows you to have an image. And then on top of the image, you can have the items. You can have, as you can see here, a title and then details, right? So that right there. And then the image is, of course, the image on the background. So I like that, but I'm actually going to make the details to be the price. And then what we can do below this, we can have another component with the actual description of the item. I'm going to go with let's go with text, this text component. And the source column for this is going to be the description, right? So, I mean, I have a really basic description here, but let me just add some random text just to make it larger. Okay, so let's refresh. As you can see, this is what the description is going to look like, you know, when you have quite a bit of writing there. And there's so much you can do here. Like, you can have another section, another field in your table here with like specific features of this dish, you know, so you can have like ingredients or whatever, you know, there's so much you can do. But yeah, the idea here on this page, you would have all the information about this specific item, you know, so the person can read more about it. So that's pretty much it. Yeah, so now guys, the cool thing about Glide is that it automatically applies this template to every single item. As you can see here, is the same exact template, and this is also applied to every single one of these, right? So as you can see here, this is our burgers category. We click on this, we get all the items. You know, we didn't have to configure the same thing again on every single one of these. You know, like the inline list we created is here, and then when you click on this, we get the same template we created for breakfast, right? So it automatically applies everything to all the items and all the categories you have, right? So whenever you add a new category and a new items to the category, it's automatically gonna apply all the templates you have created for every single one of these items, right? So there we have it, guys. This is our categories page, right? And another cool thing is that we didn't have to create multiple tabs. You know, we only have one tab here called categories, and the user can literally just go through this and select which items they want to order. And there we have it, guys. We have now successfully created a restaurant app with a nice interactive menu that the customer can browse through before placing the order, and also the restaurant owner can very easily update this menu whenever they need to through the spreadsheet. Now in the next part of the series, which I'm actually probably going to release tomorrow, we're going to go through creating a page where the customer can make a reservation before visiting the restaurant, right? So that's another useful feature. So stay tuned for that by subscribing to my channel so you get notified when that video is released. And also guys, if you're interested in leveling up your skills when it comes to building apps with no code, I'm actually going to put a link in the description to a full course that's on my academy that will basically help you master app development so you can build really powerful apps without writing any code. Make sure to check that out. And that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to hit the thumbs up button if you found this video useful, and I'm going to see you on the next one.